All right, thank you so much for joining us on our 121st episode of Lunch Out Loud Ottawa. Of course, we're the podcast that talks to the people, places, events, and music that make this city the incredible city that it is.
It's amazing.
And one festival that I absolutely love every single year, and I'm very excited to talk to Elaina about, is Westfest. And before we check that out, why don't we check this out?
Hi, I'm Terry Gillespie, formerly of Heavens Radio, presently Canada's King of Roots Music. I'll be at the Westfest stage on June the 14th, Sunday, with my band of thrilling musicians. I hope to see you there. Directly after Westfest, I'm heading off to the Golden Triangle. I'll be back for July the 24th to play with Lorraine Klassen, 1 hour east of Ottawa, at Shara Gardening. Lorraine is the Juno winner for 2014 in the World category, and I'm really looking forward to this gig. Check out terrygillespie.ca for a calendar of events, and please join the email list. You're the people I want to talk to. See you at Westfest.
I went down to the music store. I bought an amplifier, I bought one more. I said, man, take the money out of my hand. I want to play in the diddly band. I want to play in the diddly band. I want to play in the diddly band. I practiced every night and day. I drove all my friends away. Pretty soon I got kinda good. Got me a guitar made of wood.
All right, thank you so much, Terry Gillespie. And that song was, of course, What Would Bo Diddley Do? And he's a great blues artist. And you'll be able to catch him 6:15 to 7 p.m. on Sunday, June the 14th, only at Westfest in Westboro. And where would the stage be located this year? It's a little different.
It's a big deal.
Before.
We're super proud to say we're back to the street, back to our real roots. Our real roots in Westfest history. You know, we started off in Westboro Village, right beside the little Max Milk gas station. Yeah. That was our first year. We put Jane Siberry up there, and the Cowboy Junkies both played this small stage right in the Max Milk parking lot. So. And then we hit the street pretty much where we're going to find the main stage this year. We've really gone back to the location. The last time we were in the similar spot was 2006 and 2007. We saw Kathleen Edwards up there, the Skydiggers. We had some big acts up on that little stage on the street. We're back to the street because I just missed my party. I mean, I've been behind that grocery store for 4 years directing the main stage, which is essentially what I do the whole time, the weekend of the festival. And
you don't get to see all the people
the 10 blocks that I program all year long and all of these other things and the people and all of that. So I've really missed the party. And I think the accessibility, which our mandate in Westfest is really all about, was lacking because, I don't know, people just didn't want to. It was different going into that fencing and going into that space. So I'm really happy to bring it back to the street, the open air, the open street, where anyone from the public can just walk out of their home and be right there at the main stage. And
will there still be a beer garden? So it will be kind of fenced off to get in?
Well, no, not at all. The only area that'll be fenced at all will be the actual licensed space. Okay. So essentially, if you're familiar with the Clock Tower Brew Pub, which is our big platinum sponsors and super partners.
Great patio out there, yeah.
Great patio. Yeah. So right in front of their patio facing east, right against the curb will be the stage.
Oh, and cool.
So the first 2 lanes of Richmond Road on the south side will be licensed space, and then the 2 lanes on the north side of Richmond Road in front of the stage will be unlicensed. So essentially, in front of the stage, you're going to have unlicensed and licensed space. So everyone will be there together. If you want to drink, then you got to go in fencing, says the Ontario Alcohol and Gaming Association. Yeah. Because we're not civilized to stand out on the street without the fence.
We're not like the Germans who have it down, or anywhere else in Europe.
Even just hall 5 minutes away. I don't know if you've ever been to any of their affairs, but the stage is in the middle of the street. There's no fencing, and everyone's just walking.
I did not know that. I didn't know you could do that.
It's really quite civilized, and it's really the way we should be able to behave too. But those aren't our rules.
And it also doesn't make money for those people that license it out. Right?
That's right.
For paying those fees.
For sure, right?
You got to line some pockets at some point.
That's it. So, anyways, that's what we have to do. That's what we're doing, and you have to be 19 years of age and show ID to get into that license space. But anyway, that's that. We'll have something for everyone there, but we're super happy to have that stage back on the street, and we're expecting, like we always did when the stage was on the street, 5,000 to 10,000 people at those night shows. So it's going to bring that street back to life at night. The street's always been really alive from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But then when the main stage was behind the grocery store, that would kind of quiet down, and then they'd all come into us. Where now everybody just stays on the street, and the audience area starts in front of the clock tower, but then it just goes right down Richmond.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've got pictures I could show you guys. It's pretty impressive.
And well, like that. Will there be like street food or food trucks still at night? Because that's what I love about.
Yeah, totally. So in the licensed space, I'm going to have a couple food vendors. I don't know if you know, like Street Side Curry. It's like two guys.
Yes, of course.
Kind of
they're
little
the
carts.
nicest guys.
They're the nicest guys.
Nicest guys,
and they make the best.
You always
food.
think they're brothers, but they're not.
That's right. But they're the nicest guys, and
Cousins.
that's the first point for sure. And
nicest guy.
And then like a hot dog cart in there, and then we have food trucks all throughout the whole closure. But let's not forget the people who exist there already, the restaurants and merchants of Westboro Village, who we work to get them extended patios so they get licensed spaces on the street.
That's great.
So they extend out onto the street with their patio chairs and tables, and so you can sit out right on the street and drink and eat at all of the merchants of Westboro.
Will that go until about 11 as well?
And that goes to 11 p.m.,
The extended...
That's right, yeah.
There's also a couple of places now that have rooftop patios, too.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be awesome.
The Barley Mow is a new rooftop patio.
Will they be able to see the stage from the Barley Mow rooftop? No.
Like killer.
Yes?
Killer.
Oh, it will.
The top of the Barley Mow patio is going to be pretty
prime
killer.
location.
Prime
Was it
location.
Churchill's?
But not as prime as being inside the clock tower, because
Yeah.
inside the clock tower, so picture, I'm inside the clock tower looking out. My stage is right there. I'm actually going to have the side flap open so everyone in the clock tower, and I'm streaming the music inside too.
Okay.
So you'll be watching the bands and inside the clock tower partying. It's all going to be in the middle of the hubbub. It's going to be pretty awesome.
And their patio is going to be set up like normal?
Yeah, half of it. Half of it's
Okay.
going to be my sponsor lounge, and half of it's going to be for their patrons. So, I mean, if you can get a spot in there, I mean, Sarah Harmon's going to be walking by you at some point or another.
If you get a spot there, don't leave it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All weekend, pitch it in.
What we like to do, Elaina, with all of our guests, are like get to know them a little more, because everybody knows you associated with Westfest. We like to know maybe some favorite restaurants that are not in Westboro that you still like to go to as well. Like, we did not know the Westfest location or office was in New Edinburgh.
Right.
Yeah, I started driving here, and Nick's like, whoa, where are you going? You're going east. And I was like, yeah, that's where we got to go.
Right, because I run a free festival, and the last thing I want to pay is big overhead for an office.
Absolutely.
Like, look at this place. It's like 10 feet by 12 feet. All it has to do is have a space for us to do our work.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, in Westboro, I don't know. I mean, who can afford Westboro? And I was quoted in another paper years ago saying that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Westboro, and when Westfest has played a role in that growth of that area too. I mean, hugely so, and so we're proud of Westboro Village anyway.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite restaurants in the city, I got a lot of them actually.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a foodie and a bit of a drinky.
Okay. Hey, so
Let's hear about
So, well, you've got a Bose sticker. Steve and Lyndall and some of those people are some of my dear friends and proud friends. I'm proud of these people. They're young entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs that have been doing great things. Mm-hmm. Also, the guys that run the Clock Tower Brew Pub, our very first, independent brew pub. Those are the purveyors of craft beer in Ottawa. Yeah. That's why they're our partners at Westfest, in fact. But anyways, enough of Westfest. So Hooch on Rito, have you heard of it? It's a bourbon house.
Of course, yeah.
Right beside Normal?
Yes, right beside Normal. Like, they're doing different things. Like, no one else is doing horse on brioche. No one else is doing ostrich carpaccio. That's the kind of things they're doing.
Yeah, cool.
Which is really cool. I love Murray's. Murray Street Bistro. Steve's amazing, and again, he was doing what he's doing way before everyone else.
Do they still have the pig head available?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I see him every year at Westfest.
Cool. So I know he's a dear good friend. So and very supportive too. And I have a lot. Beer Brothers Bistro is another fave.
What about something new down here? We're in New Edinburgh now. Have you made it to the new gastropub?
I haven't been to the new gastropub,
I
actually.
think you'll like that one as well.
It's
Cool.
weird hours, I think, though. It only opens at 5.
And I kind of come here to work, so I kind of
Yeah.
go to other places to relax. But I am.
Still relax.
Exactly. After work, go there. Yeah. No, I haven't checked it out, but there's some cool places like Farb's. Actually, he closed.
That's where the new gastropub is.
The other one over here, not Farb's, Fraser's.
Fraser.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've been there, for years now since he opened. But anyway, this is a cool area too. They're doing a lot. I think when the development gets finished in here, we're going to see this area kind of come back to life.
Oh, when St. Charles, the St. Charles development comes in, this part of town is going to be
Eastboro, I like to call it.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
All right, well, let's get into Westfest this year. We'll start from some changes from last year. You've already mentioned the concert area has changed, but also you're introducing what I think is pretty cool, a Westfest lit adults only soiree night.
Yeah. I mean, after 12 years of producing Westfest Lit as a literary event as a part of our programming at Westfest, we're finally kind of getting into the red light district a little. And I want to do that at least one time, because we do a lot of programming for children at Westfest, but we don't do a lot of single programming for adults. Yeah. So it was really fun, and I found what I thought was the best woman in the city to put it together for me, Sylvie Hill, the amazing Sylvie Hill. And she's incredibly talented too, and she's gathered up some real erotic and awesome, fun, smart writers, and I think it's going to be really fun. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there because I'll be directing the main stage, but.
Videotape.
We are definitely for sure. And I mean, I will enjoy it after the fact. But I mean, I'm really my one disappointment that I won't make that show.
Is it only 6 to 7 p.m. on the Saturday?
It is. Yeah,
they're going to fit all 5.
Yeah, they're going to read for 15 minutes each, and it's just in a nice kind of dark basement, kind of cool. There's going to be some snacks and some drinks, and these 5 artists showing you really quickly their stuff, and it's really just a snapshot of what they do, and
Are these all Ottawa based?
They are
artists?
And they are, and Westfest Lit generally is local Ottawa, so but although we have had Anne-Marie McDonald on our lineup in years past too, so it really depends. But anyways, this is a really fun year for Westfest Lit.
There. And so Westfest Lit will also have the same programming, like there'll still be Westfest Lit, not the adults only soiree?
Oh, in the future?
No, this year. Or is it just the adults only?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
And Westfest Lit is always an hour long every year. So, but I mean, sometimes it's girl coming of age. It really depends on the curator and my artistic direction for the year. So,
No, that's going to be very interesting. Any other major changes this year?
Well, logistically for the festival, quite a few actually. We've worked really hard over the last 8 months. I've been working hard to try and green the festival. So that's really difficult for anyone to do, but let alone if you don't generate any revenue. So Westfest is free, but it's not free for me, right? I mean, it's free for everyone to go and enjoy, and everything's free, but we still pay top dollar for all of our services. We still pay artists top dollar fees. We still pay to have the place cleaned up, to order everything, all the tents and washrooms, like everything still costs us. So I mean, our budget is still nearly $1 million for Westfest. Wow. And and we don't charge it for anything, so we have no revenue. So it's more. My whole point is it's more challenging for me to do things than anyone else who charges tickets, because then you have that revenue. So it's been challenging this year, but I'm very proud to say that after 8 months of working and searching for the right partners, that we are going complete solar power on all of our outdoor stages, which I believe, and we haven't had anyone challenge us yet, so we've been saying this for about a month. I think we're the first festival in Canada to do all of our outdoor stages with solar power. Now, some of the big guys would say, well, you're so little, of course you can do that. And that's true, but you know what? I want to stay at the size where I can do things like that. Yeah. I don't ever want to be so big that my carbon footprint is like 10 small towns somewhere. I don't want to do that. So, yes, that's why I can do it, because my main stage this year, I've scaled it down a bit to get back on the street, and so I can solar power it. And my other 2 stages are a youth stage and a community stage, so they're small enough to be solar powered, but that makes me happy, unbelievably happy, because you know what? I usually spend about $3,000 on diesel gas. That's what powers the generators that normally power those stages. That's just the gas alone. What about the carbon footprint? What about the emissions? What about everything else? So that stuff really piles up.
And if